Pete. I work at Unity Project for Relief of Homelessness. I'm a social worker there. I do frontline support in the emergency shelter section. And I'm doing an interview for you guys.
So basically, how do the people find out about the project? Like, how did the people experiencing homelessness in the first place find out where to go and where to seek help?
Usually, if someone shows up at one of the two main shelters, which most people know about, Mission Services and Salvation Army.
Yep.
Sometimes they'll be full, and
You awake?
they'll call over to they'll call over to Unity Project, and yeah, we're just a small shelter, so not too many people know about us. So they'll call over to the Unity Project, and they'll kind of send people our way, give them the address, and that's how people usually find out about us initially. There's also a publication that's circulated around London that lists all the social services in the city. It's called Help Yourself Through Hard Times. And so we're listed in there as well. We're listed on the internet under like shelter services, and also sometimes shelters from other cities will give us a call. And, and people are sometimes referred to us from there.
All right, so like based on what you've seen and heard, what are like the most common reasons for these people experiencing homelessness? Like
why are they experiencing homelessness? I don't know. There's many different things, right? Like a lot of people just lose their jobs, and in London, like I think we have one of the highest unemployment rates in Canada. And sometimes people will, there's a lot of addiction as well in this neighborhood and in London. And it's just, basically the only thing that separates, or the only difference between us and people in a shelter are just a lack of supports, right? Like we all go through rough times, and we all count on supports, at certain times in our lives. And if you don't have supports, then you're gonna lose your housing, right? You're gonna become homeless, or because.
So does the government do anything to help? Do they?
No, not really.
No, not at all.
Like. Shelters are just a band-aid solution, really, right?
Are they're government ran, right? Most shelters, or
for the most part, we get most of our funding from Ontario Works.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. The main solution for homelessness, I think, would be just more affordable housing. It's really simple.
Yeah, for sure.
We have a housing corporation here in London, but yet even with someone with emergency homeless status. On there will wait like 1 to 2 years in shelters, and if you miss that phone call a couple of times when housing does come up for subsidized housing, then you're put at the bottom of the list.
You said band-aid solution for
homelessness
for these houses that they live in. What do you think a better solution would be?
Just more affordable housing, like more housing in general, but more housing that people can afford. Like market rent is $500 to $600 a month. An OW check, Ontario Works welfare, gives you $550 a month to live off of, and no one can really live off that.
For sure.
But our municipal, provincial, and federal governments just really have to create more affordable housing units, and in London there's just a huge lack of it. Like I was saying earlier, some people wait 1 or 2 years for subsidized housing, and in that 1 or 2 years you're going to be spending time in a shelter.
So cool. Do they have any skills or techniques to help with this?
At Unity Project, we have a full-time position that's funded in part by United Way. And it's we have a life skills coordinator that helps us out with that budgeting, everything from budgeting to like just basic self-care, looking after yourself, and just to go back to like kind of like solutions for homelessness. One thing that our federal government needs, and that most other countries have, is a national strategy to combat poverty, but we don't. We have no national strategy on poverty. There's a huge lack of affordable housing in the country and in London, and with the way the economy is going, and with everyone losing their jobs, it's probably just going to get worse.
Yeah. Think there could be better, like, proactive things, like with children and stuff like that in school programs? Think that'd be a better solution, or less like a...
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing about, homelessness and addiction and poverty is to just educate yourselves, right? There's tons of resources on the internet. A lot of people just don't know about it. A lot of people don't know why people become homeless. But like I said, the main cause is just a lack of supports.
Yeah.
And without solid community supports, which are most of the time the only supports that some people experiencing homelessness have, then I don't know where they'd be. So
people at your shelter have been coming for a long time, or is it like you said there was shelter hoppers? It's just
it varies. It's a mixed community, right? Like people become homeless for different reasons. Some people just have had a lot of trauma in their lives, haven't had the chance to heal from that, and with the lack of help from family, or the lack of family or friends, period, then it's going to be hard to maintain a place to live.
Yeah. What's something I think that most people know about being homeless? What are some misconceptions?
Well, first of all, no one chooses to be homeless. I guess that's the biggest one. People think that we have these solid supports in London and solid, when I was saying OW only gives you $5.50 a month. Like, how is anyone supposed to live off that?
Yeah, it's not possible.
It's unless you're sharing a room with like a couple other people, makes it pretty hard.
So are most of the residents educated, or?
Yeah, most are. Yeah.
Like obviously,
a lot aren't too, for different reasons. But what I always say is that, some people sit back and say, I'd never let myself get to that point. If I were in a position, if I was homeless, I'd get a job. If I didn't have a job, I would try to get educated so I could get a job. But like the reality is, and how life works, is that if you were anybody else in anyone else's shoes, you'd be doing the same thing, because that's just how their life went.
Yeah.
Our lives are a product of our past, right, and the decisions that we make from day to day. But if we were anyone else, we'd be in the exact same position as they would, because that's just how their life ended up, and that's where they're at now. Our front facade. And I can quickly show you the Unity House, which is our transitional housing program building, pretty much.
So,
and at the back there, you can see our emergency shelter.
Oh, okay,
right
yeah.
There, but, one more question? Or?
I was going to say, have you noticed that it's gotten any worse over time, like compared to the past, or like just homelessness in general?
Yeah, I guess. I've
probably
been
with
here,
the economy
I've been here
too,
for
like you
about 4
said.
years, and we're way busier than we were 4 years ago, or even
Yeah.
last year.
Probably slow economy too, right? Helps.
All right. Well,
Ask me and I'll give you.
Yeah, you can ask Bill something. Yeah, ask Bill something.
So, do any of the residents have like kids, family of their own, or
Some.
no?
I'm sure some do.
Some do.
And like, do they have custody of them, or is it?
Some do. Yeah,
Okay.
Sometimes they're living with friends or relatives.
Yeah, that's always a big aspect.
I don't want my picture taken. No.
Yeah, I'll go to her.
Have you noticed there being a change in factors? Well, maybe not you, maybe you over time, that a lot of the factors change, like obviously addictions and the economy and like family issues and social issues. And
Like I was saying before, people are here for different reasons.
It's always different, right?
You know, it usually comes down to just a lack of support
Yeah, for sure.
in people's lives, right? And like I'm sure you three have like solid family that you can,
Yeah.
or friends that you can rely on if you come across hard times. Like, say you get in a bad car accident or something, right? And you have like stress and you can't work, and you know, I'm sure you could bump
Yeah.
up with a family member. Or
Yeah, there's no one for them
You know,
to
a lot of
back
people
into.
don't have family or friends, or if they do, sometimes you know they're not very supportive, or
People
You know,
burn their
they're-
bridges.
people
Yeah.
burn their bridges, you know.
So, do you think in the
For their own
future it will be getting
reasons.
any better? Do you like government or anything related in that manner? Like,
I don't know. But what do you think, Bill?
What was the question, sorry?
in the future, do you think like the homeless rates will increase or increase or?
Personally, the way that kids are raised nowadays, you can't. Kids come home from school saying that you can't slap me on the ass, Dad,
Mhm.
because children's aid
Makes
is
sense.
taking away. That kind of thought process is ruining the way kids are growing up now today, with no respect for elders and no respect for anybody else.
If it wasn't,
To me, that bugs me. I'm old school. I grew up. You did something wrong, you gotta lick it.
Yeah.
Period. And then you never did it
Sure.
again.
That makes sense.
Unless you're a slow learner, and then you did it. You did it again. But then you got another lick.
Then you learn. Yeah.
yeah, and if it wasn't for Bill's lickings on me when I first started here, you know, I probably wouldn't be here. You know, that's the only way I learned from my mistakes here. And
But people do learn from their mistakes. Some people a little quicker than others.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm an older guy, and I'm just going back to school now.
Yeah.
I'm enrolled in school, and I look forward to it. Every day I look forward to it now. But it's also keeping me level-headed, away from the chaos around this area.
For sure.
And it just helps on all that. But it also keeps me intact with, I have 2 children,
Yep.
with my kids. I brought them up to Collingwood skiing over the Christmas holidays for 3 days. That is fun. You know, and to get back to the fun things in life and hold your responsibility, which did before. I lost track of that, and now I'm doing it again.
Yeah.
But it gives you a great feeling. It's a great feeling to know that you're doing
Exactly.
something to help yourself and also for your kids. I mean, it's just, I love it.
do you have anything to say about Unity Project?
Unity Project, I've been here on and off since I split up with my ex. I own a house. I got 2 kids. I've been on and off here for almost since the day these guys have been open. Probably 8.5 years, somewhere around there. And they've been open for 10 years, so there's but not steady. I've been out and then back and out and back. But you know what? It's a great stepping stone for what you want to do. The opportunities here, the things that they offer, the things that and if people would take what is offered to them here, there's no reason why they should be homeless for too long. A lot of people go from shelter to shelter to shelter. London is the worst city. Actually, they call it the best city in Canada for homeless people because they got the mission, they got the Salvation Army, and they have this place. You don't have to go. You don't have to get a place. People do the circuit for.
Yeah.
They do the Salvation Army, they do the mission, then they do here 42 days here, 42 days there, 42 days there, and then they keep going in that circle. And it doesn't get any better. That's for people who are lost and not wanting to do anything. And don't get me wrong, I've been there. Been there and back. But it's gotta go up sometime. To get back on your feet, all the support here it's immense. They got housing, they got activities, they hook you up into a gym for free. Everything is for free. If you wanted to, you could start homeless, come here, and leave here a very prosperous person. That's the truth. Staff.